Hi everybody, it's Andrew Gaffney with Retail TouchPoints. I'm here at NRF and I'm joined by Gary Lombardo with Sailthru. Gary, thanks for making time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you've had a chance to go see some sessions and have discussions here. What are you seeing as sort of the big trends, the big topics of discussion here at NRF?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the topic every year seems to be around omnichannel, using that as a buzzword, but starting to think of it differently in terms of distributed commerce, right? As being the big piece, being able to allow the consumer to buy anywhere, anything that they want, anytime, any place, and anywhere. And so that I think is the biggest thing that I've seen. And there's a couple sort of sub-trends in that. One is certainly what I'm hearing, systems are still a challenge, right? Underlying systems to actually do that, being able to unify commerce, right? And to be able to do it effectively remains a challenge for retailers. But also the importance of being able to do it at a very personal level, I think at a one-on-one level, has certainly been a theme that I've seen come up big time as well to support that.
So we were talking earlier, I mean, there's a lot of focus on customer acquisition naturally across channels, but also the piece of customer retention, customer lifecycle marketing. What are you seeing and hearing there from retail customers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we see and the studies have proven is it really costs. I think a recent study by Bain, it says it costs 6 to 7 times more to acquire a customer than to retain one, right? And I've actually seen figures that go higher than that, saying it costs up to 10 times more. So I think that's certainly something that we've seen as a company. We've seen from our customer base in the retail sector, whether it be the Climb, Alex Anani, Birchbox, a number of other customers of ours. They're huge initiative, and we heard it here with Kroger, for instance. I was in a session earlier as well, where customer retention, maximizing that customer lifetime value, is really a key strategy for the company as a whole. So, and of course, there's different pieces of technology to help support that, help do that, whether that be driving. We usually use the word concept of personalization, but it's really at the heart of what we do. But there's different ways that you actually achieve that. And for us and for retailers, and we heard with Kroger, it's about not just segmenting your customer base, but really establishing that one-on-one connection, truly doing one-to-one personalization to retain that customer doing that one-to-one mapping is the best way to retain the customer overall.
And talk a little more about personalization. I mean, there's obviously so many aspects of the customer experience. Is it, does it start with marketing and the conversation that they're having with retailers, or what's some of the fundamental elements of that one-to-one?
Yeah, I mean, really, human connections matter more than ever in the digital world today, right? So I think it really begins with that personal connection. It always has, whether it be, you walk into a Starbucks or your local coffee shop and that barista knows exactly what drink you want. And that's really what it's all about. And I don't think we've lost that. I think that's going to continue to become important in today's world, whether it be at the store, online, making sure that same level of connectivity, that human connection is never lost. And that's ultimately what personalization is all about.
Yeah, that's a great point. What other trends are you seeing in terms of the blurring of the lines in terms of channels? What was a pure play digital, now you're doing pop-ups. What aspect did you see that bring to the marketplace?
Yeah, I saw. I mean, there's lots of good data. I think I saw some data by I forget who it was exactly, but presented what retailers are thinking about as challenges to really achieving this distributed commerce pathway, right? And as I said before, systems still play a key role. POS systems are certainly, they're not viewing their legacy POS systems, I should say, as ones that can't necessarily meet the challenge.
Right.
But that stated, they've actually moved ahead with several initiatives, kind of point solutions, but truly define the omnichannel experience with endless aisle, being in the forefront, which I thought was really interesting because just a few years ago, just short 2-3 years ago, that number would have been fairly small, being able to leverage web inventory into the store to solve potential customer walkouts. Now I saw the stat we saw was about closer to 60% of retailers are offering that. So I think that what that tells me is that retailers are starting to figure it out, right? It's a slow process, it's a complex process, a difficult process, but we're certainly getting there.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for making time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you, Gary. Thanks, everybody.